Hi, Mark here. Tuesday, January the 27th, 8:20 a.m. Eastern, 1:20 p.m. GMT. US session now underway. And let's have a look how the market's performing, starting as always on the US dollar index. I want to read two headlines from this morning. The EU and India sign a historic trade deal, which will represent a quarter of the world's economy. Second news headline, British Prime Minister Starmer flying to China. That's the first time in 8 years to mend business ties with China. Both of these are aimed at reducing the dependence on an unpredictable United States. And there you see that's the fundamentals. Now you see the technicals playing out, and you can see this very strong sell-off in the US dollar index. It's extreme. And it's to such an extent it's extreme. That's why I've put in my RSI, relative strength index, and you see the reading at 27. 30. A reading of 30 shows oversold, which means we can expect a correction at some point. But just to illustrate how strong this sell-off is. I've got support at 96.41 being tested right now. I've got resistance of 97.09. We'll see whether the sell-off can be maintained. I don't know how much more room there is, how much lower it can go, or if there's going to be some kind of a bounce based on the RSI being oversold, and maybe buyers do step in and bounce up off this level, looking up at the 97.09 resistance level. But certainly certainly very weak US dollar as the US session does get underway. Let's have a look at the S&P 500. We're in the futures market now, still almost an hour and a half until Wall Street opens up. And here you can see continuing up from yesterday and pretty much through late last week. Demand for US equities, we're seeing support at 6,979, resistance at 7,005. That's the futures market for now, and looks like buyers want to be testing that all-important 7,000 level. We'll see how that plays out with the US session now underway and Wall Street going to open up. We'll see whether buyers can get back above this level or if sellers do step in. You see the inverse relationship here as well between weak US dollar and strong equities. Let's have a look at gold. Gold took a bit of a breather yesterday, but unsurprisingly continuing today. I've got support at 5,014 and resistance at 5,104, almost matching yesterday's new record high. We'll see if buyers can break above that level. Bear in mind some profit taking could come into the picture if we get some kind of turnaround or bounce down. For now, some selling at these high levels. And also we look at the RSI like we looked at and saw oversold on the US dollar index. On gold, we're seeing a reading of 80 here, of 85. So remember on RSI, 30 signals oversold conditions, and once we get to around the 70 level, we're looking at overbought conditions. So clearly overbought. Wouldn't be surprising to see some kind of a sell-off now, some profit taking into the picture, and this very extreme and overbought technicals that we're seeing. Brent oil. Brent oil strengthening a little bit today, but still hanging around that 65 level. Hasn't been able to maintain above that level. As you can see, keeps getting sellers do step in around this area like they did yesterday. We'll see whether buyers can maintain, get above the 65, push higher, perhaps even test the descending trend line, which is in place. I'll just zoom out. That descending trend line, buyers will look to test the intraday resistance and then possibly get up to the 66 level or higher. We'll take some fundamentals, I think, to kickstart a real push higher. We'll watch and see through the US session. And Bitcoin once again looking weak, hanging around this 86, 87,000 level. Buyers did try higher, 88.9 thousand, unable to get to that 90,000 level. Buyers are looking for 90,000 at a minimum to turn around this downtrend, or to at least signal the first step in turning around this downtrend, even on the shorter time frames. But lack of demand for Bitcoin, certainly not showing any kind of safe haven status, and sellers in control again. Sellers will be looking down at this support at 87.6 thousand to see if they can push lower and get back to that 80, below 86,000 to 85 or lower. Certainly weak Bitcoin for now. We'll see how that plays out during the US session. Good trading. Keep that discipline, and note we're sitting at relevant resistance and support levels, and we can adapt our strategies accordingly. Good trading.